But none of these girls so far have done much else than cause a scene or drive while drunk. But that's all about to change with the case of Courtney Clenny, a woman so delusional, she ended up murdering her own boyfriend. On the 3rd of April 2022, Miami police received a terrifying phone call.
I can't feel my arm. I can't feel my arm. Oh, my boyfriend is dying of a stab. Ma'am, what is the address? 134 Northeast 7th Ave. Baby, I'm so sorry.
27-year-old Christian Toby Abumseli was bleeding out in his girlfriend's lap with a brutal stab wound to the chest. When police arrived, pools of blood were found all over the apartment, and Toby was barely clinging to life. OnlyFans model Courtney Clenny had met Toby back in 2020. The two seemed to be deeply in love, but behind closed doors, things were completely different. The couple were known to have violent fights, and the police were even called multiple times to their apartment. But their biggest argument would take place in April of 2022 and result in Toby bleeding out and begging for his life. Courtney told police she had nothing to do with it, but police thought differently. So she was brought in for questioning, and a 5-hour-long interrogation began.
My apologies for being absolutely covered in blood.
Listen, you don't have to apologize, okay? I completely understand. Alright? Things happen, and you can't control it. Okay? How long have you guys been together?
About 2 years.
About 2
A
years?
year and a half to 2 years, yeah.
Okay.
Is he okay?
He's still at the hospital. They're still,
I know.
monitoring him and talking to him. So we're waiting.
Oh my God! So he didn't even have to have surgery.
Well, I don't know. They're still doing X-rays and stuff like that. So I don't know yet. I'm waiting to hear a response.
That's all I have to know. Thank
Okay.
God.
The detectives tell Courtney that Toby is in the hospital, but alive. Detectives are usually unaware of how a suspect will react to certain information, so it's often safest to open by easing any worries they may have and talking in a non-accusatory manner. This makes the suspect feel more relaxed and more likely to open up.
I had just gotten back together. I had broken up with him, and then he came back the last 2 nights, and then started into an argument, and I ended up getting scared, and I think that I overreacted, or not overreacted necessarily, but reacted, and I just didn't know exactly what might happen.
Do you guys work here in Miami, or do you guys have your own business?
I do social media, so I'm an influencer, I guess is what
Oh yeah?
call it, yes, I'm an influencer.
What do you focus on, like Instagram or social media?
Instagram, LinkedIn.
And what is it that he does?
Stocks and crypto.
Stocks and crypto.
He just has stocks and lots of crypto. We were gonna move into a house, so have an apartment, and then we were like, maybe just move here for a year. And then once we got here, we were like, no, this is dope.
Yeah.
So we have the dog picked out. It's a golden retriever. We're gonna name Mello. So we're gonna get the house so we can have a backyard. Because I have 2 dogs, and then we're gonna have 3. So we're planning on staying here for a while. Sorry.
Once again, you don't have to apologize.
The detectives can tell Courtney is in a vulnerable state, but at the end of the day, they're there to solve a crime. Courtney's being investigated for stabbing Toby, and the only defense she's given so far is that there was an argument and things got out of hand. If Courtney did in fact do what she's being accused of, being forced to think about her past and future with Toby would really be messing with her emotions, causing her to become more vulnerable and hopefully lead to an easy confession.
Let's start from the start. You guys are supposed to take out your dogs to the park, right? And then what happens after that?
Like I said, a little bit before, I was doing laundry and tried to call my mom. She didn't answer the first time. And then he left. I guess he went to go bike over there. That's just what he said. I don't know if he walked or biked, but he told me he was going to bike first.
Like a bicycle?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he came back with a Subway sandwich, and I said something about oh, are you gonna reshare your location with me? Did you share it? And he said, yeah, I shared it. And I was like, oh, when did you do that? And he goes, the other day, when you were done with me. And I was like, okay, well, fair enough. Like, reshare it. And then he told, it kind of like turned into like a little like argument or something. And then he told me to reshare mine, and I was like, okay, yeah, I will. And then I didn't do it immediately. He asked me about it again, and I don't know what I was thinking, but it just said something about, well, what if I'm somewhere you don't want me to be? Which I wouldn't have been. I love him, but maybe you don't want to know where I am. I guess maybe they'll just like hurt him because he was pressing me, and he ended up pinning me against the wall. I said like choking me on the floor. It's just like they were looking at my neck, and I was like, I'm not saying like choking me like, whatever, but he had my like neck, like and this happened twice before, where I couldn't breathe and I was on the floor. Yeah. I could not breathe, and I don't think that he is trying to kill me, but I was scared, and all 3 times I have been scared. I'm on the floor, and you have me pinned. Get my mom on the phone. So this happened like over by the door, and somehow moved like over in the living room. He was standing by the couch, facing toward the kitchen, and I was in the kitchen. And then he just like, I could see like all the whites in his eyes, and he was like coming at me. And so I grabbed one of these knives. My mom got me for Christmas. I grabbed one of them, and I was like, I swear to God, it was just like I grab and be like, don't come anywhere closer to me, because earlier I was having 2 other times I couldn't breathe. I'm sorry, I couldn't breathe, and it's very scary. And I just think like just like this kind of thing where I was saying like, do you know if he's okay? If he's choking me and he's angry enough, he might like, this is different, I think. But if he's like choking me or like pinning me or something and I can't breathe, he might go too long. So I grab my knife and I said, don't come anywhere closer to me. I had absolutely no intention of using it. I'm on the phone with my mom, and he's coming at me like he's going to grab either the phone or like the knife or something. And so I was just like, I was like, don't come any closer. It's coming at me, and I threw it. And I meant for it to go.
How far away was he?
Well, I was by my fridge, and he was like by the edge of one of the chairs of the sofa. Like
comparing to what
10 feet. I'm trying to think in my head.
To recap, Courtney says that an argument started when the pair had both stopped sharing their phone locations that resulted in him pinning her against the floor and her retaliating by throwing a kitchen knife across the room, piercing him in the chest. Courtney also clearly states that her attack was in self-defense and specifically involved her throwing a knife 10 feet across the apartment that landed perfectly in his chest, causing him to bleed out and fear for his life.
So then, you were by the fridge and he was by the couch?
Yes, I was in front of the fridge. He was by the couch.
Yes. And then
behind my island.
And then what kind of movements did he make? At the moment, he was gonna walk
running
up.
At me.
Running? Okay.
Well, charging, aggressively walking, something.
What was he doing? Like, was he doing something with his hands or?
He had his hands up. I couldn't tell you exactly.
Was he yelling at you at the time?
Yes.
Was that at the moment that he was charging you, or earlier in one of the arguments?
It was before he choked me. Yes, it was before he choked me.
Okay.
Or whatever. But I swear to God, I was scared. After like what I was scared, and I was on the phone with my mom, and it was still happening.
Yeah.
I was scared.
So you told me that he had you against the wall at one point, right? With his hands over your neck.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you end up from the wall to the ground?
Let me go, and then I started swinging on him because I had been against the wall.
Okay.
I started trying to hit him.
Yeah.
And then he put me on the ground.
He dropped you to the ground.
When I'm trying to remember like a whole situation of where I was very upset about something.
Yeah. Which
I've learned this in therapy and whatever. It's like, write down like all the details so you don't forget. Just like write it all out clearly, so that it makes sense to you and makes sense to somebody else. but I haven't had a chance to have a pen and paper or my phone to like write down exactly what happened, and I haven't really even like fully thought about it.
Yeah.
So honestly, my answer is I don't remember.
That's fine. Okay. You guys have a history of violence?
Yeah,
You say you've been together how long, sir?
almost 2 years.
Almost 2
Year and a
years.
half to 2 years.
So how many incidents you think you've had?
I don't know, but we shouldn't be together.
Have you made a report before?
No.
You've never made a report?
Oh, I did in Dallas actually about a year ago, and he was detained.
And what happened there?
He had pushed me in the lobby, but it wasn't like a big deal, and they made it a huge deal.
The couple had also been involved in another incident in Las Vegas less than a year earlier. Police were called to their apartment after a loud argument was heard, as well as glasses smashing on the floor and walls. The apartment was trashed when police arrived, and Courtney's story was all over the place.
Why did you call for help?
Because we were getting really loud. And I was like, oh my God, we're gonna like do damage to the room or something. Not damage to each other. Like I really want to like.
Why would you think?
Like that.
Why would you think that you were gonna do damage to the room?
I like throwing something or like.
Did you throw something?
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
Did anybody throw anything?
No.
So why would you think that there is damage to the room to be made?
Because I've done that before in our house, and I.
What have you done?
Thrown a glass and a plate.
Did you throw a glass or a plate at him today?
No.
Okay. So if
No, this was before.
Okay, so when I go to the room and I see a broken glass on the floor, where did the glass come from?
I don't know. I literally couldn't even remember how the fight started.
Okay, well,
Was there?
yeah.
Maybe I did. Well, I'm guessing that I threw a glass, but that sounds like me. So.
Courtney was brought to jail and held for 12 hours overnight, but Toby refused to press charges and advocated heavily for release. This may seem like nothing, but police did conclude that Courtney had attacked him that night by throwing a glass at his head. If nothing else, it proves that Courtney was capable of attacking Toby unprovoked and opens up an entirely new avenue for this investigation. However, it also turns out that police had been in contact with the couple more recently. In fact, they'd actually been called by security to their apartment the day before the attack.
But the cops have been up there one other time yesterday for absolutely no reason. Absolutely none. They harassed, not the police, but security guards from office, like young security guards.
Okay.
Came up for no reason. Bothered him, bothered me.
The cops were called, however, and captured an entire exchange on body cams, providing a stark contrast to the story that Courtney gave here.
You didn't call.
I didn't. Nobody.
I called. You called.
What?
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay. Hold on, man. Let him talk. Okay. Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The front desk personnel, she informed us that Miss Courtney, her boyfriend, was trying to get into the elevator. And she had her hand out like this. And she was like, oh no, don't come inside the elevator.
Okay.
So we asked her, I said, do you want him to leave the property? She said no, she don't want him to.
I did not say that. I said yes.
Hold on.
Courtney, what's going on? What do you need? What?
Yeah, go ahead.
My boyfriend.
All right. So what do you want us to do?
I want a restraining order against Christian Abumseli.
We don't issue those.
Because
Those
no, I'm
to
serious.
court.
Can I do that?
You
Where
have to
can
go
I?
to court. You have to go to
Okay, but
downtown.
how
or
can
get
I make
petition.
myself first?
Courtney is obviously extremely panicked in this footage and seems less concerned about any possible that she may have been sustaining and more worried about getting a restraining order before Toby can. It's also important to note that the building's security noticed her pushing Toby out of the elevator and screaming at him and mentioned absolutely no aggression coming from him. As the evidence mounts up, it's starting to get increasingly more likely that Courtney's whole self-defense story might be straying slightly away from the truth. But as is almost always the case in situations like these, everything is still hearsay, and officially debunking her claims is going to be a challenge for the detectives. But after leaving her alone for almost an hour and letting her change clothes, they return to the interrogation room with some more news for her.
So you're living in a nightmare right now,
Yes.
you know?
I will feel so much better once they just say, is stable.
Yeah,
And I've been asking so
and
much.
that's what we're waiting for. Okay.
I mean, I feel like at the end, I mean, if he's not, that's a lot worse for me.
So they've asked for an update, and I asked them for an update as well, so they're checking to see what's going on. Because they're
I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I will do with myself if he's not okay.
No matter what.
I mean, I clearly we can't be together.
No matter what happens, no matter where this falls, right, it's out of our control.
So we have to inform you that Christian did not make it. Okay. Unfortunately, the doctors did what they could. And
Christian is dead.
Yes.
Oh my God. This is not real, right? Okay. No, this is not real. Christian died? Can I please have a hug? Am I allowed to do that in here?
Sure. Yeah.
Relax. It's gonna be fine.
No.
Calm down. Calm down. Take deep breaths.
I need to hug my mom. I cannot be left alone in like a room by myself.
You won't be.
After this. No, that's not true. That's not real, right?
It is real.
Christian is dead.
Yes. They're not gonna lie.
The last thing he ate was Subway. What I was saying to that other room, I said, God forbid, when like from far away, what if it had accidentally hit a little bit lower and he died?
So we can't change what's occurred and forget him before. So just step by step. So you'll get through this, all right?
It's easy to tell by the detectives' reactions that they're fairly convinced what happened was indeed self-defense. In fact, one of them was even talking earlier about how he's sure she'd be allowed home that night and that everything was going to be fine. So it obviously wasn't hard for her lawyer to convince them officially that she wasn't guilty and she was let off without any charges. But remember, the detectives weren't aware of any of the evidence mentioned so far. All they know is what Courtney told them. So as time went on, evidence started to mount up, and the Abumcelli's case was starting to become stronger and stronger. The body cam videos started to become publicly available, and the true nature of her previous arrests came to light. There were also unflattering videos such as this one showing her drunk in public just days after her release.
Yeah, and they're seeking justice.
sir?
Yeah,
What?
Let's all videotape her. Right now, you should go. Yeah, you should go. You just know her boyfriend. Yeah, you did. Yeah, and yeah, okay, cool.
Sure, people make mistakes and drink too much. But when you're seen acting like this in public just days after bawling your eyes out in an interrogation room, you don't exactly get painted in the best light. Just days later, footage secretly recorded by Toby was found on his phone displaying Courtney violently screaming at him, using aggressive language, hitting him across the face, and using racial slurs.
You literally talked to her without telling me!
Courtney, I was on a bike ride and she passed me and I said, hi, you and Courtney are having a live chat. My bad, I forgot to tell you that. That doesn't make you to act and call me a You're Yes, thank you. Coming from Courtney, thank you.
I want you to get away from me!
So due to this and many other accounts stating that Courtney was well and truly the one, she was officially taken to court by Toby's family. This is where the final nail in the coffin was delivered by a medical examiner who'd observed Toby's body and come to a conclusion.
Now, based on the information you received that the defendant was alleged to have thrown this knife, do your observations support that?
If the person who supposedly did this is an expert knife thrower, and the knife is the type of knife that you can throw, I guess that could have happened.
Did you receive any information that the defendant was a knife thrower?
No.
So based on that fact that you did not receive that information, would it support that?
No.
And what would you expect to see a knife do if someone just flung it at somebody?
It would just hit the body and bounce off.
Now, as a result of this case, did you come to a cause, or did you make a determination as to the cause and manner of death?
Yes.
Could you please explain those to the court?
The cause of death was stab wound of right subclavian artery. The manner of death was homicide.
As of April 2023, Courtney is currently awaiting what's become one of the most anticipated trials in modern history. She faces life in prison on account of second-degree murder with all of the evidence stacked against her. It's not looking good for her as we prepare to see if she'll be spending the rest of her life behind bars. But this next case of Brandi McGowan is arguably even more shocking. On the 30th of March 2022, police were called on Brandi after she was seen threatening people with a brick in a Florida Walmart. At some point, she decided the brick wasn't good enough and stole a pocket knife to wield instead. When an officer arrived, he found Brandi holding the knife. The cop was armed with his service weapon, but Brandi refused to drop hers.
Drop the knife now! Drop it. Drop the knife. Drop the knife. Drop it now.
Brandi seemed blissfully unaware that the officer is pointing a gun directly at her and has a taser in broad view on his utility belt. In these circumstances, he is well within his rights to use it to subdue and disarm her if he feels as though she's a danger to him and the civilians around him. Clearly, she doesn't understand that, as she stands her ground and continues to threaten people with her weapon.
Put it down. Drop it. Drop the knife. Put it down. Put the knife down. Put the knife down.
At this point, backup arrives on the scene and takes the attention off the first cop for a moment, giving him the opportunity to holster his weapon and switch to the taser. In this situation, it's obviously much more preferable for the cop to use non-lethal force, but it's dangerous to lower his weapon while in a one-on-one standoff. The arrival of the other officers gives the perfect relief for him to switch to and deploy the taser.
Drop the knife now. Drop the knife.
God damn it! So you're all kidnapping me? You got it?
The taser does a perfect job of disarming Brandi and allowing the cops to put her in cuffs and detain her. After the Walmart interaction, she was taken to a local hospital for evaluation, where it was discovered she was, somewhat predictably, high on meth and had apparently ingested over 4 grams of the stuff before entering the store to cause her chaos. Back at the police station, it was also discovered that Brandi had a lengthy criminal record, with charges including burglary, kidnapping, and battery. For this incident, she was hit with another charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, carrying a sentence of up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine. If this doesn't convince you not to take drugs, nothing will. But unlike every other case, Sarah Boone was facing a murder charge, who was accused of killing her husband Jorge by locking him in a suitcase and leaving him to die. Sarah was quickly brought in for interrogation to determine if she was really as evil as they think.
So he had some injuries to his left shoulder. He had a cut near his lip. You could see his mouth was a little
I haven't laid a
swollen.
hand on him.
Okay. What about the scratches? Because there's also sex.
Yes.
Okay. Because there's also like a scratch on like the back of his neck, like kind of like going, but it's like going straight across.
I have no idea what that's from. In all honesty, we have not gotten into it.
Okay.
That's why, like, the only thing I thought you guys were going to ask me about, which I was going to be honest with you anyway, are the scratch marks on his back.
Mhm.
Everything else, I have no idea what it is.
Yesterday, when we took photographs of your overall body, and they did the buccal swabs, did they go under your fingernails?
No.
Okay. Are you willing to let us
absolutely
swab underneath your fingernails?
Go for it.
Okay.
It seems like an odd request to ask if they can swab underneath Sarah's fingernails, but it could actually go a long way in determining how Jorge got these injuries. Since the injuries were fresh, it's a strong possibility that forensics could find dried blood or skin cells underneath Sarah's fingernails, which would put her dead to rights. But unfortunately for Sarah, they have some other evidence that took a lot less effort to find.
Do I have to watch this? I continuously throw up. I don't sleep. I don't want to see it, if that's okay.
Well, it's on your phone, and you can either explain it or we take it for what it is.
Yeah. We're just trying to give you the opportunity to tell us what's going on. That's it.
For everything you've done to me. Fuck you.
And it's
Fuck
just,
you.
that's you, your voice.
Stupid. That's my name. Don't wear it up.
I don't want to watch it, please.
The video showed Jorge in the suitcase begging to be let out while Sarah taunted him from the outside. The police couldn't have asked for a better piece of evidence, especially as it came directly from Sarah's own phone.
So this is upside down. So in order for him to have gotten into it,
it was flipped up.
Right. It was flipped up normal.
Yes.
Like as if you're packing something. So this is upside down.
Guys, this is killing me right now.
Sarah is obviously trying to maintain her innocence by telling the detectives that the video is distressing to her. But does that really sound like a woman who's being shown a video of her husband dying? While everybody will have a different reaction to trauma, it's difficult to imagine her reaction is a single deadpan sentence that sounds like it was delivered only to show some amount of concern to the cops.
I don't mean to sound negative, and I don't know if I can say this, but like it's like you guys are kind of trying to like feed me. Like,
no, I'm just trying to show you a video that you no longer want to watch because you probably don't want to know the outcome of how and what you said.
Well, I know what.
You know what's on that video now?
No.
You remember making that video?
No.
Why don't you remember making the video?
Probably because we had been drinking.
But you weren't drunk.
No.
Sarah is desperately trying to explain this video away, but in doing so, essentially admits that it is her recording and that she left him alone in the suitcase afterwards. Given that Jorge died from her neglect, this at least constitutes a manslaughter charge. But she's really not doing the best job of convincing the detectives that this was an accident.
What do you think is going to happen if you leave somebody in a confined space like that?
Well, I thought by not giving it up all the way, it would be okay. My plan was not to leave him in the suitcase.
What was your plan?
Waiting for him to come upstairs.
And then when he did it?
I fell asleep.
You said you were up there 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, somebody not coming up.
Knowing that the last time you saw him was in the suitcase, 30 minutes later, you're like, maybe I should go check on him? Maybe I shouldn't?
No.
Well, that didn't cross your mind because it didn't happen.
That's like an assumption. Like, that's what you all are thinking. Just.
We're asking.
It's the drinking.
Sarah spends almost 2 hours in total desperately trying to manipulate the detectives and explain away the damning evidence the detectives have shown her. But ultimately, the detectives remain completely unfazed, and they decide that they've heard enough.
Do you promise and swear that everything we talked about today has been true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, but it was not intentional.
Okay. Okay.
All right, do me a favor, stand up.
Why is this happening?
Because George is dead.
Not intentionally.
We understand that.
He's still dead.
Well, we don't
Someone
really
needs to call Brian, please.
Okay.
Or can I not make a phone call?
You'll be able to make a phone call when we get you down to the jail.
So why is this happening? So this was a trick?
No, it's not a
No,
trick.
not
How
a
was it a
trick.
trick? Your response to everything was basically, I didn't do it.
Intentionally.
Doesn't matter. He's still dead.
Sarah was charged with second-degree murder and is facing life in prison. As of this video's upload, the trial is still ongoing. This suspect's public outburst takes place on a plane ready for takeoff. Prior to the footage, she's been asked to leave multiple times due to her refusal to wear a mask during the pandemic.
Hello.
We're gonna take you off the aircraft.
Yep, you're gonna have to get off the aircraft,
Yeah,
okay?
and you're at the,
Yep.
and I compliment you in that way.
She's a representative of the aircraft. They don't want you flying on their plane today, okay? So you're gonna have to get off the
They
aircraft.
made us wait and wait and wait.
Yeah, that's the way it is, but right now I'm gonna
And
need you...
that's fine, and I will respect that.
Okay, So I'm gonna need you to grab your bag and just
And I
step
did
off
not
the
do
aircraft.
anything, actually. Disrespect.
We'll talk about it outside.
Disruptive. Besides, speak my mind.
Okay.
And you know what? I live in America, and that's what fucking America's about.
Calm down.
No, you know
Listen
that.
to me. Grab
no,
your bag.
You know that.
When she's asked to grab her bag and leave, she says something truly weird. The suspect has a lot of strange mannerisms and seems to have very severe mood swings. Pay attention to how her expression suddenly changes and how she seems to rapidly experience a wide range of emotions throughout the encounter.
No one's gonna put their hands on you.
All right, yeah, you
Grab
won't.
your bag and
Yeah,
just step off
you
the-
won't.
Okay, but I need you to get up.
No. You
Okay?
need me to get up? You may need me to get up, but you know what I feel my need to do as a person? Just like Jesus motherfucking Christ.
You need to calm
No, no, I'm gonna do what I
Calm
need to do. I'm gonna say what I need to do. And if you're gonna do whatever you feel you need to
Okay.
do to me, right?
You
So
ready?
I'm gonna say what I have meant to say.
Yeah.
No, to everybody.
Stand up, man.
Yeah, everybody is
You're
doing
gonna
this.
get arrested if you do not
I'm
stop.
already gonna get arrested.
You're gonna.
The police warn the suspects that if she doesn't cooperate, they'll have to put their hands on her. Her response is dramatic. She also latches onto a supposed promise one of the officers made, that she wouldn't be arrested if she gets off the plane.
Here's what's happening. They're gonna deplane the aircraft. I'm gonna take you off the
That was
plane.
already happening. Don't.
And you're going to jail.
It won't happen
Okay.
if you get up and walk out with me right now.
Yeah.
But if you're not
I
going
don't
to,
trust
Yep.
that.
That's how it's gonna work.
Do you see how that's a threatening system?
That's the way it is, man.
Not cool.
Are you
I
gonna-
want to trust you. You want to trust me? That's not healing. We're not healing.
The suspect is led from the plane and placed under arrest. Her reaction is childlike. She cries in an unconvincing way and seems to feel that the experience has violated her human rights. Listen to her describe her actions. The way she seems to think she acted is far from the truth, but it's hard to say whether she's deliberately lying or there's something more to it.
Okay. Come with me.
I wasn't doing it.
Come with me.
Why are you doing that? See, you lied right there, man.
The suspect continuously switches between claims of being victimized and anger towards the cops. She seems to feel that she's been personally wronged and that one of the cops lied to her to get her to comply. She accuses this cop of not wearing a mask himself.
How is anyone gonna stop anything when you lie to them?
You have your chance, ma'am.
I had my chance. You
asked
didn't even
you-
give me
I
a
asked
chance. I
you-
looked at you in your eyes,
asked you
and
10
I
times.
knew you were lying to me. I saw you outside before I even came in with your mask off.
Once again, we see a case where the person being arrested decides to single out a particular officer to blame for everything. The suspect refuses to cooperate with a particular cop but says they're willing to comply with other members of law enforcement.
All right. You ready to step out? Are you gonna comply with everybody?
No, with you too, yes. Not with you, because you're a liar.
Towards the end of the arrest, she repeatedly says things that seem to come out of nowhere, including the suggestion that a nurse there to check on her is attracted to the officer she has an issue with.
Here, let me get your temperature at least.
Oh, you think he's cute? Oh, yeah, I thought he was cute too. I looked in his eyeballs, and I thought he looked into my eyeballs, and then he abused that.
Her unpredictable mood and irrational reactions continue right up until the video ends, with her saying that the fact that she can't relax is the fault of law enforcement. Seems likely that there are some psychiatric issues at play here, though. Without a professional opinion, it's hard to say for sure. If you enjoy true crime videos like this, make sure you're subscribed to see more.